Preparing carbohydrates to batch meal prep. Let's go through them on a scale of needing the least amount of prep to needing the most amount of prep. Even though the most amount of prep really isn't that much prep. Least amount, anything that's kind of pre-cut, fresh veggies, canned items, obviously apples, lots of frozen veggies, frozen fruit, anything canned. Those are going to be your quickest with veggies. You're probably going to be roasting these. You could also do this in the air fryer. It will speed it up a lot. But I like to use the oven in a lot of the same way that we do for prepping the proteins. If you've got 2 or 3 racks, make sure you're using your 2 or 3 racks. Just like the proteins, set your oven to 400 degrees. I've got my oven heating up right now to 400 degrees. If you cook something in the air fryer, 400 degrees. That's one part of the mental tension you can just let go of right now. What temperature to cook things at? 400 degrees. Another way that we really speed up the meal prep of anything that we cook in the oven is, in addition to using the multiple racks, we can also put multiple kinds of veggies onto one cookie sheet or on one pan to roast it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to put some carrots. I like to get the baby carrots because they're just kind of prepped. And then these little baby potatoes. Again, I just like the little baby ones because they're just super easy to prep. You can kind of mingle them about or keep them separated. And then with roasting veggies, you do want just a little bit of oil. I like to pour it into there first, just so I don't accidentally put too much on. Just need a little bit more. We're going to mix that all up in a second. But just like how we prepared the protein, we're going to want to keep the seasonings pretty simple because, again, we want maximum versatility. So that's garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And keeping it simple like this, you're seasoning it well, but you're also keeping it incredibly versatile. There you go. 2 seconds, done. Now we're going to do the same thing with broccoli. I'm going to like just getting the pre-cut broccoli. Now people say, well, but the pre-cut items are more expensive. But if you haven't been meal prepping and you're just eating out because you're like, I don't have anything prepared, and you get home and you don't have anything, and then you end up just doing Uber Eats or doing a delivery service or going out to a restaurant, it's way more expensive. It's way more expensive. So if buying the pre-cut fresh veggies, if that's what you prefer over the frozen veggies that are already cut, buy them. Spend a little bit extra money on it, because if that's going to make you do the meal prep, have the fresh veggies or the roasted veggies in the fridge, you're going to be saving a ton of money over time. So that's just what I wanted to say about that. Now we're going to do much of the same thing here. We're just going to drizzle some onto here, not a lot, just a little bit. Same thing, we're going to season it. Just again, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and then we're just going to smush these around with our clean hands, obviously. Just toss those around. There you go. Now these are ready to cook. Again, 400 degrees in the oven. These will probably take about 45 minutes. These will probably take about 30 minutes. I mean, I like my asparagus pretty cooked. You can just put them in the oven at the same time, same temperature. You'll just have to take them out at different times. You set 2 timers. No big deal. Rice, no matter if you prepare white rice, brown rice, or another grain, quinoa, amaranth, bulgur, whatever, you can actually prepare them all in a rice cooker. I can't express enough how much I love this rice cooker, because much like the proteins, we want to get things firing on all cylinders at once. So we're going to put the veggies in the oven. We want to have rice in the rice cooker. So what a good rule of thumb for rice or any grain is 2-to-1 ratio. So if I'm going to do a cup of, actually I'll do 2 cups. Some people might like a little bit more water if you're doing a whole grain, like a quinoa can be a little bit tougher, but good rule of thumb, 2-to-1 ratio. So 2 cups of rice, and we're going to do 4 cups of water. Put this in here, and I'm going to get this plugged in. That is the one thing about doing the meal prep and firing on all cylinders, is you got to manage your plugins. Okay, white rice. There we go. Boom. Not even thinking about it anymore. So now pasta, if you want to bulk cook this, I'm not going to do this right now, but obviously pot of boiling water, pour this in, about 12 to 13 minutes for a good al dente. And then you can just package it, put it in a container, and then put it in your fridge. Easy. Boom. Oats are something that you're going to prepare probably a lot. Obviously, overnight oats are really popular. Another really popular way to cook them is stovetop. But actually, I want to encourage you to get one of these little mini crock pots. This is how I cook my oatmeal. So it's just a little baby crock pot, and you plug it in. I put my oatmeal in this before I go to bed at night. And then I just plug it in. And when I wake up in the morning, no touch oatmeal. Like, it's done. So I'm going to show you this, because what I actually will do, I'm going to get a spoon, is I will put my oatmeal in it. You can see the steam. I put my oatmeal in it, and then I also put blueberries on top. So oatmeal, water, and then I'll put my blueberries. So frozen blueberries. So then it cooks overnight. I wake up in the morning. I'll sometimes put a little bit of like a flaxseed in it or something like that, but this is like the easiest way to get warm oatmeal, especially if you get up early, you're going to the gym, you want to get in a nice healthy pre-workout meal. This little crock pot. I should be a spokesperson for crock pot, but I'm not. I just really love this little thing. You can find a link to it in our Amazon store though. But yeah, it was probably one of the best $30 I've ever spent. So there you go on that.